Get it, ladies. The first secret, how to have men flocking to you, even if men are not approaching you now. Let me know if men are approaching you, right? Do you get great, high quality men approaching you? Yes or no? Single women think, I'd rather be alone than to settle for less. How many of you have thought that? Let me know. How many of you have thought, you know what? I'd rather be alone than settle for less. But see, here's what happens. Here, Terry Lynn Shirley said no. Okay, a lot of people think that. So what do you think? So here's what happens, regardless to what your thought process, right? It could be, usually when I ask women, what is it that you want? They usually start telling me what they don't want, right? So it's like, oh, I want somebody, I want to be married, but I don't want to make the same mistake. I don't want to marry somebody who cheat. I don't want to marry somebody, right, who finance is not in order, right? So whatever I don't want, think about that. Put that in the chat, the I don't want, right? Tell me what you don't want. Lisa said yes, right? So we're on the same page now. So whatever I don't want, when we think about that, and a lot of times we think about that more than we think about what I want, right? So whatever I don't want, put that in write that down, because whatever happens, whatever you're thinking in the I don't want line, you are fearing what happened in the past will happen again, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So the only reason why you're saying I don't want to settle, or I don't want somebody cheating on me, I don't want somebody to ruin my life, or I don't want somebody who's going to waste my time, right? I don't want somebody who's not faithful, right? When we say I don't want, right, it becomes where our energy and our attention goes, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then that's what we end up with, right? And so let me show you an example. And it's because the key to this thinking is that you attract based on your level of energy that you're thinking, the level of energy that you're feeling, whatever your belief systems and your perspectives, right? So a lot of people believe there's not any good men on their level, or I only meet unavailable men. And you guys report this as if it's the news, right? What happens is you start meeting unavailable men. Lisa put, I don't want someone I can't communicate with, or someone who is controlling. Yes, thank you for that, Lisa. Because when you start, so I can use that as an example, right? So when we fear that controlling or somebody who don't communicate, 9 out of 10 times we've either experienced that ourselves, where we've been in that type of relationship, or we've seen it as we were growing up, like with our parents or whoever was around in that a relationship. So it's like, no, I don't want to argue all the time. Like my mom and dad argued a lot. And so now it's like, I don't want to argue, right? But then I'll meet men who always want to argue. And that's because I'm not creating what I want. I'm creating in my life what I fear, because energy and things come to me based on my thinking, my emotions, my belief systems, and the perspective and how I see relationships. Does that make sense?